excited about the opportunity to give you a taste of what Sky is, and together with the partners that are here, to give some insight into this new collaboration that's it's a collaborative force, really, that's emerging in the region. So at the moment, Sky consists of about 13 plus partners in the region that are working together to change things in Southern Africa. And then I think, yeah, I just want to go back and think, what is it that Sky is trying to change? And there are many layers. If we look at our very complex context that we work in, so I think if we look sort of within the context in Southern Africa, it's sort of littered with failed projects and wasted opportunities. And so it's really critical if one works in the region to reflect about what exactly it is one is trying to change. What is the deepest layer of change that will affect and infect everything? What is a change that is lasting and that's sustainable? And I think this is something that Sky has been trying to do for the last 4 years. So if I can distill the key issue, I would say that in a world where we are more connected than ever before through technology, we have also never been so disconnected. And this disconnection is underlying the sort of problem in the broken world that we are living in. So the world, yeah, it's just very broken, very disconnected, very dysfunctional. And we see that all around us in communities we interact with, in the newspapers we read, and we all, I think, experience that. And I think the most fundamental disconnection is our connection with nature. People, and this goes very deep, disconnection. And I mean, we see it manifested in many ways, and I want to say that I think the deepest disconnection is the spiritual connection that we have with nature. And that's one of the things that Sky is also bringing back through our connection with ABN, which really focuses on that. And there's later sessions during the course of these 3 days where there will be more, they will go deeper into that. But that's just really, I think, fundamental to what we need to heal, is that connection with nature. And flowing from that, then, is the disconnection between science and knowledge, which was also mentioned earlier this morning. So we've developed science, but it's not connected to local knowledge. It's not a holistic science. It's a science that focuses on, like specialized on specific things and doesn't look at the bigger picture. And then we get really distorted policies and so on. And flowing from that also is the education curriculum that we have today that is completely disconnected from the realities on the ground, from what farmers are experiencing if we talk about agroecology. And Juliet will talk about that, one of the partners. And then our food system, of course. I mean, I can go on, I have a few more, but our food system is also really, the food system we have is not connected to our health. It's making us sick. So there's a disconnect there. There's a disconnection between youth and elders. There's a disconnection between men and women, between urban and rural, between our culture and values, the dominant culture. So this, only, and policy then also, and accountability. So there's sort of many levels which you can look at. And it's, I think, from our perspective, it's just really important to create connections here, that these things are actually these important sort of that become polarities in the way we engage with everything, with people, with agriculture, with our food system, is to integrate that again and look at the connections. So how does one start to do this? Make a connection that's actually lasting, that's transformative in the way that it really creates change in the long run. And one of the examples, for instance, that Sky is really working with is a thing of dialogue. So for us, dialogue is really important. Dialogue is something that's quite slow, but it's actually also really fast, because once people have really dialogued with each other, you get a lot of change. And embedded in it is the value of relationships, harnessing differences, co-constructing meaning. If you actually can properly get into dialogue with somebody that has a different view of you, that have different, you realize that we all come into it with assumptions. So the purpose of it is to create a much deeper meaning, a much more connection, through which, one can develop the shared understanding at the very least. And if we're lucky and if we work, carry on with it, we can actually have a shared identity that's emerging. And this shared identity is incredibly powerful to get transformative change. So what I'm sort of trying to illustrate with this is that it's like a very slow process. And I think often, if one looks at the way Sky works, it's kind of low-key. It's trying to facilitate change. It's an initiative that looks at what's there already. It's not a blueprint or a project, but it's really coming with a respect for people's knowledge, for their activities and practices, and see how can one strengthen it, and how can we connect it with others in the country or in the region, so that you have this collaboration starting to emerge, and it trying to bridge age and gender, organizational positions, institutional positions, ethnicity, social class, all of that, and then guided by principles, this dialogue in different forms can actually have change on a community level, even like on a household level. We have partners who start working really on the household, the conversation between men and women about who looks after the children, who you sell the food to, and what do you plant. That conversation, that dialogue within a family is vitally important and can have a ripple effect on nutrition in a community. And there's community dialogues around differences, conflict and so on. And then we've also done it on a national level with partners in Zambia and Zimbabwe, where there's been dialogue with policymakers and trying to bridge the gaps. For Sky, the entry point into this work is seed, and also agroecology emerging more strongly. And I always say seed is an entry point into, in a way, to heal communities. And why seed? Seed is vital to life. We are seed. I sort of recently looked at the evolution of plants, and it sort of just struck me that actually before seed there were no people. We came after seed, and we have evolved because of seed. So we are seed. And so it's a battle, it's something everybody can connect to, but we're actually so disconnected from it. And we found that in work with the communities, people really strongly connect to the seed issue, and through that they build community, but also food security, and can look into the future. There are many challenges, but the important thing is to work collaboratively with people who have knowledge and who understand their own environment, and build something together. I'm going to hand over to my colleagues and partners that we work with. And the first person, shall I introduce them? So I'm just going to do a quick introduction, and then as they speak, they will. So John Wilson, who's sitting on my left here, has been involved in the agriculture development sector for a very long time. I haven't asked him how long, but he's just really been very, very incredibly supportive of Sky and many other organizations and networks in the region, and plays a very big role in helping us think. And because of his history, founder of Pelham and all that, he will give us an overview of how agroecology came about in the region, just really how did we come to where we are now. Delma Ndlovu, who's over there, he's the chairperson of the Zimbabwe Small Organic Farmers Forum, and he will talk about the work they've been doing in Zimbabwe on reviving seed. And Juliet, where's Juliet? Over there. Juliet Ngamba, she's from Zambia, and she will give a story of her unlearning and learning in the process of working with us. And Rosalind and Solomon over there, they work in the Shimanimani area in eastern Zimbabwe, and they will talk about their work on promoting seed exchange at a district level. And then the last person will be Francis Davies, who is coordinating the Zambia Alliance for Agroecology and Biodiversity, and she's really working on that policy networking level in Zambia, and she will just talk about agroecology as agency.